There's nothing like a build-up to the Champions League final. Absolutely nothing like it. It was a late kick-off, so before football, you don't really know what to do yourself. Nacho doesn't like any football to be on, but obviously because we're in England, it was the Sky channels, and the game that they were playing was Arsenal versus Birmingham in the Carling Cup final of 2011. And just from that, I thought we're going to win today. Just from that, I thought, what are the chances of that? It was my first ever final that I went to. My standout memory as a child, I was there at Wembley, and now, however many years later, I'm playing in my first Champions League final, and I couldn't believe it, and Nacho then turned it off. That was gutting. But as soon as he finished his brekkie, it was back on. By the time the game rolls round, I felt the magnitude of it. I felt a bit like jelly-legged. And that's the first time it's ever happened to me, and I was like, what's going on? Real strange. You can almost feel the cameras on your face, zooming in at my ankle, on my shoulder, just to make sure everything was all right. It is a different atmosphere. It's just that buzz, and you can feel the excitement, you can feel the pressure just loading, and you get a real kind of feeling for, oh my God, this is huge. You can hear drums from both sides, you can hear chanting from the Madrid fans, and it's just crazy. Like a sea of white and a sea of black and yellow at Wembley. This is like my life story rolled into one. Get into the tunnel, you're ready, everything's good to go, and I remember the wait just being ages. I think it was Lenny Kravitz performing, and you can't hear a thing. You're just literally stuck there in the tunnel, looking around at each other. Who's going to break first when you make eye contact with the Dortmund guys? The way Ancelotti tried to calm us all down was you're focusing on a game, block out all the other stuff. I have a lot of respect for Borussia Dortmund, regardless of what anyone says. I couldn't thank them enough for what they've done to help me, but at the same time, I want to beat them because I want to be a European champion. The game then started, just to make me a little bit more anxious. There was a stoppage to play when about 4 idiots ran on, back to back to back to back, and one ran up to me, and I was thinking, mate, I really don't need this right now. I knew they'd come at us. I didn't think they'd come at us so well.
Adeyemi, round Courtois, and denied.
But they were brilliant. They were far the better team in the first half. I was just thinking, surely I don't lose this final. And surely not.
Madsen finds Fulcrum on the stretch. So close.
When we got to half-time and I could hear the other lads talking, I knew we'd win. Danny said something about, like, they should have killed us. Second half, we moved the ball a little bit better from side to side. He started to be able to create kind of openings. You're just thinking, okay, it's starting to come in, slowly but surely. And then, corner, Toni Kroos and the legend who is Dani Carvajal. The smallest man on the pitch, but the biggest mentality.
In from Kroos, headed in by Dani Carvajal.
It was like a sucker punch, really. And it was harsh because Dortmund were far better on the day. There's no denying that. But I think we just have that never say die attitude where we can score at any moment, and then when we do score, we're really hard to take out of that position. I had Camavinga pull the ball back really well, and I just managed to rearrange it. Tried to pass it in the corner, and Schlotter's got a really good block on it, I think on the bottom of his stud.
Gross. Bellingham. Now Camavinga! Magnificent save!
The ball was a little bit loose, one of them gave it away, and the first instinct was just to find Vinny.
Bellingham. Now Vinicius Junior! Real Madrid on their way!
An assist in a Champions League final, something that no one can ever take away from you. Yeah, European champion. I can't believe it. I started to well up a little bit and just covered my face. It was lucky for me that Valverde was there to kind of support me in that moment, because my shoulders were starting to go and everything. You know, when your shoulders start doing that one, you're like, oh God. We'd had one earlier in the season against Napoli where he kind of took a picture of me doing my celebration. I just thought, what better time to repay it, you know. It was a great moment, and obviously the picture will live with me forever. I had to come off for full time. My cramp was just too much. I ran a lot, just gave everything that I had. In those last minutes, there's a lot going through your mind, and you think, what if then they score 2 now and it goes to extra time and I'm on the bench, or if it goes to penalties and I can't take it. All that goes through your head. When you hear that whistle, it's just the biggest feeling of joy.
It's the first time for Jude Bellingham. It's the 15th time for Real Madrid. And what a ride this one has been.
So you're just full of joy. You don't really know what to do with yourself. The adrenaline gets there. You're full of emotions. I just saw a couple of the Dortmund boys on the floor, and I wanted to go and give them a cuddle just to see that it was all right. There's 2 sides of every story, and my side looks great on the day, but also for them, I can imagine the heartbreak. It's one that you don't really wish on anyone, especially not lads that you got on with so well. You see the face and you think, you know, I shared a change room with him for 3 years and we went to battle so many times, and it's hard not to feel a little bit emotional towards them as well. But then also it's like, you've got to enjoy moments like that. If you can't enjoy a moment like that, you won't enjoy anything as a footballer. I've seen my mum, my dad and my brother's faces and just like, God, I'm choking up.
Jude Bellingham, Champions League winner. How does that feel? Sum up your emotions.
I've always dreamed of playing in these games, and you know, I was all right until I've seen my mum and dad's face there, and the amount of nights where they could be at home by 7 o'clock and they're doing trips at 11, 12 at night to take me to football, man. I'm my little brother there who I'm trying to be a role model for and things like that. And yeah, I can't put it into words. It's the best night of my life.
Once more, it's Real Madrid, the emperors of European football.
Oh man, that's a great moment. You know, you picture it for years growing up. You know, them being on the side of the pitch when I was playing for Stourbridge, being on the side of the pitch when I was playing for Birmingham, in the good times, the bad times, in the rain, in the sun, or mum having a little deck chair out and a hot chocolate, my brother with a ball, and my dad just stood like that the whole time. And you do think back and you think, geez, you look so much into the future and how far you've got to go that you forget how far you've come. And I think for me, it was like almost seeing my three hearts, if you like, all in one place, like they'd always been throughout my career. It capped an unbelievable night, and it just capped an unbelievable season.